I spotted a man passed out on the tracks, but onlookers pulled out their phones to snap pictures. Furious, I jumped down onto the tracks to save him. Once I had pulled the man to safety, walked right into the middle of the tracks myself, because I didn't want to live anymore. At that moment, a train was approaching the station. Suddenly, I turned and saw a little boy. That's when I hurried to jump back onto the platform, because I didn't want to scar the boy with the sight of death. When I got home, I fixed my appearance. Then I stood directly on a stool. I wanted to end my life this way. But right at that moment, a loud commotion suddenly came from outside the window. I didn't want anyone to see me trying to take my own life. So I went outside and yelled at them. They were my new neighbors. The man was a terrible driver. He had crashed into my mailbox. I had no choice but to get in the car and help my neighbor park it properly. Then I went back to carrying out my plan to end my life. But just as I was about to pass out, the doorbell suddenly rang. I didn't want to answer it at first, but the doorbell kept ringing non-stop. Angrily, I untied the rope, planning to teach whoever it was a lesson. But as soon as I opened the door, it turned out to be my neighbor's 2 daughters. My neighbor had prepared homemade treats as a thank. There was only one reason I didn't want to live anymore. That was because I missed my late wife so much. Since all my previous attempts to take my life had failed, I decided to end myself with car exhaust. That way, no one would disturb me. Then I started the car. I kept breathing in the exhaust fumes. I thought this time I would succeed in ending my life. But then there was another knock on the car window. My attempt to take my life failed once again. It was my neighbor who caused the failure. She wanted me to drive her to the hospital and also look after her 2 children while she was there. Before I knew it, I considered giving up suicide, because ever since my neighbor's family moved here, I had started to feel the warmth of having a home again. But I still missed my late wife so badly. So that night, I took out a shotgun and pointed it at myself. But just as I was about to pull the trigger, that damn doorbell rang again.